All right. Welcome back, everyone. It turns out, I forget what it was, Joe. We said if there was 100 views, we'd do another episode.
Yeah.
And
we kind of smashed it.
Smashed, I think, close to 1,000.
More than 1,000.
I didn't look.
We got way more than 1,000.
Way
We got
more.
over like 100 likes. People really like the show.
Okay.
So,
Well, either way, you guys apparently tuned in enough for us to watch it. I don't know if I want to set another KPI for episode 3. I'll say 2,500 views, and we'll do an episode 3. But I mean, we'll probably do one anyways.
Yeah.
But it would be cool. It would be cool if we had that many views. Anyways, welcome back to the Chiliz Show. This is episode 2. I'm Max Rabinovich, the CSO at Socios.com and Chiliz.
I am Joe Grech, and I just want to say shout out to all my hydro homies here as I pour myself some water because it is important to stay hydrated because water is very good for you. So, yes, I'm Joe Grech, the crypto marketing manager of Chiliz, and cheers, guys.
Cheers, Joe. Hey guys, it's great to be back. Serena here, social media specialist at Socios. A lot has happened since our last episode, so stay with us because it's going to be a good one today.
Yeah, no, it's true. We're going to try to do the show every, I believe, 2 weeks, hopefully once a week if everyone gets super motivated and you guys watch and kind of force us through demand to do it once a week. But listen, before I start, I will say you called everyone guys, but you made this whole water bit.
Yes.
Is there any other kind of terminology you wanted to refer to our viewers as instead of guys?
Hydro homies.
There you go.
Yeah. What's
There
up,
you go.
hydro homies?
There
Did
you
I,
go.
did I not say hydro homies?
No,
No, you
we're not.
didn't.
We're not
Oh,
sponsored.
man.
We're not sponsored by the our Hydro Homies subreddit. But if you guys wanted to post the link there and say they kind of make a weird point about it, any attention is good attention for the Chiliz ecosystem.
Or maybe I'll do it on one of my alt accounts.
Yeah, maybe. Anyways, listen. Let's get off these tangents. Step 1 for the show.
Yes.
The catch up.
The catch up.
We've been gone a while, and since we've been gone, a bunch of huge stuff has happened. COVID didn't end, but it's not 2021.
We haven't been away
yeah.
that long.
No, but you know, it's. I feel like everyone secretly thought that the end of 2020 was going to be some sort of sea change in the world, and it didn't happen. The only thing that did happen is apparently the GameStop stock is competing with Tesla.
Yeah.
Anyways, the catch up. First point. Binance launch pool.
Yeah.
We should do a recap because big things happened.
Big things, they did happen, yes. In December, I think it was like mid-December, we launched free fan tokens. We started with 2 fan tokens and then launched another
So
free.
we opened up our, let's say, Binance ecosystem
Yes.
with PSG and Juventus.
Yep.
Both of those received huge amounts of traction. Kind of took our, not just, let's say, revenue from fan tokens to another level, but just PR and the profile of what Socios.com and fan tokens in general are. Because it's not, I think until the listing happened, we were still very much, I don't want to say underground, but people didn't know what this specific asset class called the fan token was.
It's true, and Binance kind of gave us a bit more of like legitimacy, obviously, because of we announced a new strategic partnership with them. So that layer of legitimacy kind of just pushed us forward towards the end of the year, which was quite nice.
Yeah. And then we followed that up. We had at the very, very tail end of the year, in the last few days, we also listed OG, your beautiful T-shirt, Joe.
Right here.
And the AS Roma fan token, as well as the Atlético de Madrid fan token.
Yep.
That did have a lot of traction as well.
Yes.
I will say, though, that because so many people were interested in us, it's arguable that even the mass amount of, let's say, traction and FOMO and activity we saw didn't even wait for Binance. People were flooding to the Socios.com ecosystem and the Chiliz.net exchange.
It was almost like a denial of service attack, really.
Yeah, where we suddenly had these trading volumes on those 3 tokens that were like on a daily basis eclipsing all the activity they'd historically done since launch.
Yep.
It's a good thing.
Yep.
I would say I hope in the future, and we're going to work on it very hard. Our future listings on Binance are going to go much more smoothly because now at least we have a precedent for exactly how much demand we can generate. So we'll see, but it's definitely not, it's not The Last of Us. It's just the beginning of our journey together with Binance on their exchange.
Yeah, and to be honest, like we saw like hundreds of millions of Chiliz being locked in these launch pools, which is, a large portion of the circulating supply. I think at one point, I can't remember the exact number, it was close to like, was it 8%? No, it was more than 8%.
At a total we had over, I think it was 14 or 15% of all the Chiliz available in circulation in the entire world were locked up.
Yep. In locker rooms and
we counted the locker rooms as well. But hey, let's not spoil our own show. We'll talk about the locker rooms soon. Okay. I don't know if there's anything else you want to say on Binance.
I mean, like it performed very well. It gave us the extra layer of legitimacy. It attracted lots of new users to our ecosystem, and it kind of drove almost like this new rally of interest to other fan tokens. We saw it kind of trickle down because everyone was kind of like betting on which token is going to be on Binance next.
No, it was very much like a rising tide lifts all ships kind of scenario.
Yes, indeed.
So that's that. Hopefully in the next shows we'll be. I even hope at some point we can talk just straight numbers, but it's a little too early for that now. And now since we spoiled it a little bit, as part of the catch up, let's talk locker rooms.
Yep.
Because actually, should we do a little recap of what a locker room is? Probably yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So to set the table a little bit for you guys, in case you don't know, I'm assuming most of you do know, so I'll be super quick. We have a feature that we launched called Locker Rooms, where essentially it works as like an in-ecosystem, you could say like a, I don't know, Indiegogo, Kickstarter type campaign feature where our users can use their Chiliz and stake them into these locker rooms, each one of which targets a specific region, a number of specific clubs, sports, etc. With the idea being that if they can put all their Chiliz into this locker room, we'll be able to, as an organization, go to these clubs and say, hey guys, we have actual financial proof and user data proof that shows that there's demand for you guys to join us on our ecosystem, and that you already have A, revenue for your club locked in, and B, you're going to have a source of engagement here. It's not a question of if, it's just a question of when you want us to convert. And the big carrot for users that put Chiliz in is that if they bought these locker room tokens, in 4 months, if we convert a locker room into a team that signs, those locker room tokens would convert automatically into that team's fan tokens. But on top of that, they'd get a 10% Chiliz bonus.
10%?
As a thank you from our platform, essentially. It's you can think of it as a staking bonus, or a success bonus, or something, for saying, hey guys, you believed in this campaign, so we'll pay you. And we launched 3 of them. We had Milan Devils locker room, we had a Blue Manchester locker room, and a Galacticos locker room. Mm-hmm. And one of them, in the days before we're shooting the show right now, actually converted with AC Milan. We had an argument about this.
Who knew?
I would say one of the most popular clubs in Italy. Some people say the second most popular club.
Some people top of the league.
Some say the best club. If you ask Serena, who's a Juventus fan, she would probably not say anything nice at all, but we'll leave that to her.
There's respect there, though.
Okay,
that's what I'm going to say. There's respect there.
Respect is one thing, but I'm asking you to rank the club. Either way, they essentially took us up on the locker room offer, and as of this week, are an official Socios.com partner with their token when it launches to public listing onto the marketplace, being that $ACM.
Yep.
I don't know about you guys, but the Milan announcement was one of my favorites so far. So should we see it? You guys want to see it?
Yes, so we can go ahead and play that announcement.
We'll make a cool video.
Yeah.
Richard,
you know what to do. Beep. That was epic. The music's epic. The video's epic. Everything about that was just epic. And also the way the fans reacted on social media was pretty epic too.
Yeah, it was fantastic. As we can see from some of the reaction tweets on the screen, shortly I think we're going to show them. Here they are.
Boom.
Boom.
By the way, I can't. What is that?
I think this is
Quanto mi sta gasando socios mamma mia? I have no idea.
That's actually a very good pronunciation, by the way.
Okay.
And I think this is my favorite tweet we got. The first one says, "I would sell my house for socios." So that's it's a very good reaction. Please don't sell your house for socios.
Thank you. I'm going to stop you right here. In no way do we condone selling any personal assets, including land, in order to finance the purchase of fan tokens.
But thank you for your support, nonetheless. People saying they already love us, that they look forward to purchasing AC Milan fan tokens on our platform. So all in all, it was a fantastic campaign. Actually, fun fact, on our announcement video, we got more than 1 million impressions, all organic.
Is that a fun fact or a fan fact?
It's both. It's a fan fact.
Here's a question about another fan fact. I'm going to give you a little bit of a layup. That hashtag that we're seeing right there, Milan delivered, which, by the way you guys wrote it, reads like Milan delivered.
That's how it's supposed to read.
I heard from you and the Socios admin that was catching some traction. Is that true?
I mean, we were one of the top 3 trending topics in Italy, so I would say, yeah, not to toot our own horn, but it was pretty great.
What were the other 2? Was it
well, I mean,
coffee and salami?
The other 2 were like the government crisis that's currently going on in Italy. So
pasta and checkered tablecloths were 1 and 2, and we came up at 3. So that's good. Okay. Anyways, going back to some numbers on the ACM locker room, we actually ended up capping that locker room out. We raised 100 million exactly. Chiliz for the team, which resulted in the 10% bonus being worth 10 million Chiliz that we just airdropped to all our users that participated. So I thought that was
I think that's cool. A pretty good number as well. That's a good amount of Chiliz to be rewarded for. You know, it's a long kind of period of time to be locking up your Chiliz. You don't know when the signing or the announcement is going to happen. So I think that 10%, it's a nice sized fair bonus.
No, for sure. And I will say the other thing that I want to make clear is what happens to teams if they convert onto the locker room, which maybe you guys are wondering. When we do a locker room and a team signs it and converts and we make fan tokens, there's no FTO. The only way to get on the quote-unquote ground floor, the pre-marketplace trading floor for these fan tokens for these partners is to essentially put your faith in the locker room and hope that it converts. So with AC Milan, we're not looking for an FTO date. We're not going to have an FTO date. Our launch date, when they go live on the app with us, will be the same exact day, down to the minute, when AC Milan fan tokens open for listing on socios.com, chiliz.net. Other exchanges we'll see. That's all TBD.
Yep.
But it's guaranteed, obviously, that they'll list on socios.com and chiliz.net.
Yep.
So be on the lookout for that. That hopefully is happening in the near future once we have exact dates set up with the club, because we still need to plan the marketing around it. We need to plan how we're going to unveil the first poll, because I think we got some special stuff lined up.
Yep.
So that'll be really cool.
Yeah, and if you kind of look at the total Chiliz locked-in locker rooms, if you still include Milan Devils, that's currently 431 million Chiliz. Just a fun fact.
There's a lot of Chiliz.
It's a lot of Chiliz.
Fun fact. That's big numbers are fun.
Or fan fact.
Yeah.
Fan fact. Fun fan fact.
I'm sorry to the viewers that my 2 co-hosts are a bunch of nerdy douches.
You're like one of the biggest low-key nerds I know.
Yeah, low-key.
Yeah.
We're on television now, Joe. These people, they talk to you on Telegram. They talk to you on Twitter. They think you're this cool dude. No, they think you're this crypto maven.
Well, I am. You can be both a nerd and a crypto maven, I think. I think most crypto people are nerds.
Well, I can't wait for our big visual section on episode 3 of this show. Joe attempts to lose his virginity by texting girls.
Yeah, let's not look through my Tinder. It's not pretty.
We'll see who the nerd is then. Anyways, back to the locker rooms.
Burn.
Yeah,
we have. We will say that the other 2 locker rooms, the Galacticos locker room and the Blue Manchester locker rooms, are kind of nearing the final stretch.
Yes.
Both of them are set to end on February 2nd.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens there. That's all I'll say. I want, there's a lot of, let's say, behind the scenes stuff that I would love to discuss on the show, but I can't. So I think stay tuned. And if anything, I would follow Alex's Twitter and I'd follow Joe's Twitter very closely, because they'll have the up to the second news the second we can say anything about either of those locker rooms.
Yes. Also follow the Chiliz Twitter.
And the Socios one? some love for Socios, please.
Okay, I'm giving you guys the real news. Follow Joe and Alex.
Okay.
And if you also want to follow Chiliz and Socios, they'll probably retweet those guys' tweets. Also, big news. The last thing is the locker room. We opened up a fourth locker room. And Joe, I'm going to throw it to you in a second, but maybe while I'm still talking about it, you can get the fan market cap up so we can.
Oh, it's up already.
Okay, thanks, Joe. We have Locker One. Locker One, with the locker room token being $ Lock One.
Yep.
It's our F1 locker room.
Yep.
We have 500,000 or had 500,000 locker room tokens available, with obviously the goal being very overtly Socios.com is ready to host F1. All this cool stuff that we're doing with football, all this cool stuff that we're going to be doing very soon with MMA. Why don't we do it with F1?
Why don't we do it with every sport?
Well, because we don't have 1,000 people on our payroll to accommodate that level of work. Anyways, Locker One got off to a very fast start last week, so I'm going to throw it to Joe here because he's going to run you over through all the numbers.
So what we saw is it kind of climbed up steadily to 50% filled, which was about, I guess, 50 million chilies, since it's they're 200 chilies, right? The same.
They're 200.
Yeah. So they filled
chilies.
up very quickly towards 40-50%. And then the old Binance launch pools were actually coming to an end, which freed up a lot of chilies. And it was like, there were some analysts in our community, such as the Chart Witcher, who predicted, people aren't going to be just dumping those chilies out of the launch pool straight onto the market because of, there are other places to put your chilies. And that's exactly what we saw. We saw the launch pools conclude and money flowed into the locker room.
Okay.
And now it's 71.53%.
Thank you. I was going to say, that's really great nerdy analysis on your part and accurate. That's why they call you a crypto maven. But the actual numbers.
Yeah.
How many Lock One tokens have we sold that people are holding on to now?
We have sold 357,640.
Wow.
Yeah.
Each at 200 chilies a piece.
Yep,
are we allowed to say that the tank is almost full, or?
I mean, just said it.
It really. That's a hard question, Serena, because it depends on what your definition of tank almost full being. Joe just said a little over 70% of the locker room has been bought out. Is 30% until full, almost full?
I would say so.
Would you? If you were driving a car and you saw that you had 70% of your gas tank left, and would you think to yourself, yeah, that's almost full?
Yeah.
I would say so. I mean, I don't drive. I don't have a driving license, but
Are you a glass half empty kind of guy?
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, I'm definitely not a glass almost full kind of guy when I only have 70% of my water that I want in my glass. You know what I mean?
Okay, so you're a glass half empty
Hashtag
kind of guy.
Hydro home. Keep hydrated, guys.
Yes. All right. Yeah, and just to conclude on that, that's 71.5 million chilies locked up.
Yeah, no, it's huge. And it bodes very well, obviously. That locker room is going to be available all the way up until May. So
it's gonna probably fill up.
I think it's gonna fill up, and I really hope that the F1 teams that are on our radar kind of take notice, because I think it's a cool sport. I know there's a lot of people at our company that think it's a cool sport.
Yes. So I mean, can we say that it's teams that we're looking at rather than one specific team like we did for the previous locker rooms?
Yeah, Joe. Actually, legally speaking, we can't say we're looking at a specific team and then kind of name teams. And specifically for Locker One, I'm looking specifically at a number of teams. The thing is, you can't get too specific with Formula One, which I don't know if you know about the sport. There's only 10 teams.
Yes, okay.
So do you want us to only look at like 3 of the 10? Why wouldn't we just look at all 10?
That's true. Yeah.
We actually have a Socios poll. I don't know if it's still a Socios United poll. I don't know if it's still active or not, which actually asks our users, hey, which of the 10 F1 teams do you guys want us to look after?
Yeah, me neither. I didn't see it.
Yeah. I think if you open it up, right now, Ferrari is like the runaway favorite. 47% of the vote is Ferrari. And I think the rest, McLaren, Mercedes, etc.
Cool.
Yeah. So it's cool. Obviously, stay tuned for that as well. Same thing.
Yes.
Any new information that comes will come through our channels. So follow up, and hopefully if we do the show next week or in 2 weeks, we'll have more information too. All right. Here we go. We have 2 more topics on the catch-up. This one, it looks like Joe wrote it because it's just reading. It sounds nerdy. The integration of the Chiliz chain on Binance.
Yes. So when we launched these launch pools on Binance, the token standard was BEP20, which is the Binance Smart Chain token standard. And it kind of led to some issues of people sending the tokens on non-supported chains. So they were sending, for example, Chiliz chain tokens to Binance Smart Chain network and vice versa. It's led to a disruption in our normal flow of customer service, unfortunately, but we have resolved the majority of these thanks to this integration. And actually, Binance said that if we have issues with people who sent tokens to Binance, that they can deal with it through their customer support channels themselves rather than us. So yeah, Chiliz chain is now on Binance, which means that Chiliz chain fan tokens can be deposited and withdrawn from there. And that's it, really. That's the nerdy. If that's nerdy, I guess it's nerdy.
It's not. It's fine. It's not. The background is nerdy, but let's say the user experience impact of that isn't nerdy. It just makes it a lot easier.
There you go.
That's cool.
Yeah, there we go.
And we come to our last topic now on the catch-up.
I
almost
hear
want
them
to talk about this
right now.
as if it's like a big announcement because it's been so well received.
Yes.
Fan token burning, specifically
Okay.
team performance influenced fan token burning. For months ago, I started working on a plan and kind of doing sanity checks with you as well.
I remember the plan.
Yeah. Hey, how do we create? Essentially, how do we gamify burning of fan tokens? Because we want to, you want to keep everything connected to the sport and to the team and to the team games.
Mm-hmm.
And after playing around with a bunch of, I would say, nerdy algorithms, we simplified everything into two linear numbers. How many fan tokens we'd burn whenever a football team scored a goal, A, and B, whenever a team won a game. And we came to realize that if you burn 0.5% of the lifetime supply of a team's fan tokens per goal and 1% of their lifetime supply, or sorry, 0.1% of their lifetime supply per win, we would create a burning scenario where between our release notions for the fan token and the burning notions, we'd come to a point where hopefully we'd be able to burn 50% of the supply within 5 years, and within that time we'd also be able to push all the remaining part of the lifetime supply out into fan held circulation. So we would naturally come to this point where between burning and release, every token is fan held, which is obviously the end goal state for all these tokens.
What happens if one of our partners just goes on a crazy winning streak and scoring streak, they win 20 games in a row and score 5 goals in each game?
Yeah, it's very possible that their 50% will get burned before we can release.
Okay.
If it's I will preface what I just said with also that we did a real world analysis of how this would work. So we took 5-year performance patterns for a majority of our teams and plugged them into this formula to see. None of our teams, and that's not saying that they can't change things if they want to be the number one team of all time, have kind of under or overperformed within. I think there's about a 10 to 12% deviation in terms of over 5 years how many fan tokens were burned per team.
Yep.
Now, if Barcelona decides to go out there next season and score 25 goals a game every single game they play and win every single game, it's fair to say that they'll probably burn through all their tokens that we've allotted for burning eligibility within 1 or 2 seasons, but I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think I'd kind of like to see it happen though.
I think it would be
memes.
One hell of a meme. Anyways, my last questions on this is I hope that's clear for you guys in terms of burning. I think we have more information also as well on socios.com and our channels.
Somewhere.
Actually, can we clear something up? Because we got a lot of questions about this.
Tell me.
People were saying, why are we burning less gal? Why are we burning more bar? And
it's always, yes, it's very simple. As I said earlier, it's all the burning is proportional. The end goal of the burning is that based on the team's performance, we want to burn half of their supply, 50% of their supply, within 5 years. The reason we burn more bar and less gal is because the lifetime supply of Barcelona fan tokens is 40 million fan tokens. Thank you, Richard, for putting that beautiful and simple graphic up. Whereas the lifetime supply of Galatasaray fan tokens is 10 million. So if you want to burn a set percentage of fan tokens and one team has 4 times less fan tokens than another team, you're obviously going to burn 4 times less fan tokens. The rate of burning, let's say the velocity of burning, is still equal between every single supply.
There you go. Perfect explanation, I would say.
Okay. Now, with that kind of out of the bag, if you will, 2 questions, one for each of you. I want Serena's ideas on what's the sports angle here? What gives? I'm a sports fan, and I'm into the fan tokens. Why should I care that they're getting burned? And Joe, since you're the crypto maven / nerd, Hydro homie, I want your angle on, let's say, the crypto influence of this. Yep. Why, from a fan token economics standpoint and just crypto ecosystem economics, is this a good idea? Mm-hmm. So, I guess we'll start with Serena.
All right. I mean, I think I have the easy question here, because if you're a Juventus fan, you would be happy that we're burning tokens, because that means Juventus are scoring a lot and winning a lot, because we're burning tokens based on goals scored in certain matches, I would say, not every match, and per win. So that means that it would be a pretty good streak for Juve if we're burning a lot of tokens. So it's quite easy.
That's very fair. And I'll also say that if you're looking at fan tokens as a collectible and as a utility and as something that you can use to touch the team that you love in the crypto space,
for sure.
Whoa, you're kind of cutting off my bit. You're going to answer my question for me. You're about to go and do that.
I've completely overrun Joe, and I feel bad
Hang
about
on,
it.
because we're not done with the sports angle yet.
Let's stay with Serena here. Over
I thought I was kind of going deeper into the sports angle.
Yeah.
But it turns out I've been throwing Joe's content under the bus. So whether I agree with that or not, Joe, go ahead, man. You run away with it.
Are you finished? Or have you...
I just wanted to say that on a sporting level, the burning weekend wasn't great for sports fans, because, I mean, there were a lot of derbies. There was the Roman derby, which AS Roma unfortunately lost. The Derby d'Italia between Juventus and Inter, which Juventus unfortunately lost. Galatasaray against Beşiktaş, which another defeat, unfortunately. And a Super Cup final, the Supercopa de España final between Barcelona and Athletic Club.
Well, it's a great illustration that it's the team's job to make sure the tokens are burned. It's not ours.
So bottom line, we actually only burned PSG and Bar, because the other teams, none of them scored or won.
Well, anyways, we will continue to do our burning. For football teams. We're going to be rolling out to new football teams as well, and I'm actually right now in the very throes of working on burning plans for esports. Obviously, a very different dynamic of how they compete and what kind of metrics you can tie burns into, and also MMA.
Yes, and also I guess we're looking into the automation of these burnings as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
For sure.
Because currently they're done kind of live, where almost the whole company is watching the games and getting excited about the burning. But yes, so I guess I would just go ahead and take my content back and start talking about the crypto side of the burning. So yes, well, it kind of does tie in also to the football fan, like Serena was saying earlier, and then Max was about to say it's the kind of like an exclusivity kind of feeling. When scarcity is involved, it makes in this case a fan token more exclusive. Not everyone can have it. If you look at stadiums, they have season tickets. You only have a certain amount of season tickets because you only have a certain amount of seats. So you can kind of look at it that way. And I think most cryptos these days are doing some form of burning, not as creative as burning based off of the performance of something in the real world. That's going to be interesting for the future of decentralized data with platforms such as Chainlink or API Free, these decentralized data providers. We could fully automate this on a smart contract level based on real world sports data, which I think is very exciting myself. That's my crypto view.
Actually, Max, before we close the catch-up segment, can I just take the floor one more time?
Yeah. You don't have to actually ask me. You can, The floor is yours.
I'm polite, that's
Okay,
why.
yeah, the floor is yours.
Actually, I think one of the coolest moments for us this year happened during the past couple of weeks during Juventus Sassuolo. Danilo, so a Juve player, scored, and our LED board was in the background for the whole goal. So let's see it. These are some of the shots. I think we actually have the goal as well, if we want to play it, because it's a nice goal.
Yeah, I mean, these are beautiful
It's a nice
photos,
goal,
but it's a proud moment for us, let's say, on a branding side. But
Yeah.
I'm not sure. I don't know if,
I think it's the first time that a team, one of our teams, scored this season with our board in the background, because it happened last season, actually. There you go. Nice goal, huh?
Yeah. Hit me up in the comments, guys. Do you care that you saw the Socios logo during goals or not? Or the U token logo?
Based on the live tweeting of fans sending us photos, I would say they cared.
Yeah, also crypto people really actually do care more than I thought they did. They want to see the branding of their favorite team on TV in any way, shape, or form. So they actually get pretty excited seeing, the $UV or $CHZ around stadiums.
Anyways, thank you, Richard, for using that Russian stream to show Juventus playing. That's very professional, and we might have to cut that out of the actual broadcast because, it kind of is not legal.
Yes.
To be fair, it was posted by the player. That's a tweet from the player.
Okay, well,
so if it's still up,
I would assume the player got a little talking to by management as well.
Probably.
But if it's the player's tweet, then we absolve ourselves of all responsibility. We are just resharing content from our partners' employees. Anyways, yeah. Now we're done with the catch-up. Mm-hmm. We're moving on to section 2, and because this is a high production value show, boom, see? Oh, there it is. Right behind my hand, there's the graphic. Upcoming news, and we're going to start it out really quickly. I think we actually have Altug, if I'm not mistaken, I think his title is the director of Socios.com Turkey.
Yep.
On the line, there he is. Altug.
Live from Istanbul.
Hey, guys.
I would assume live from our office. I really hope you're sitting in the office.
Yes, I am. Actually, you can see the little Socios signs back there. You can see the reflection a little bit.
I hope. Yeah, I can. I hope you're on a laptop because I was gonna ask just for the viewers, if you could. Oh, okay. Sorry, Richard.
I'm on my laptop.
Richard in my ear is telling me that we have pre-shot footage. It's very high production value, so you don't need to show us with your laptop. But anyways, obviously Turkey, by just user-based interaction, is our biggest market right now.
Yes.
People love us in Turkey. As a result, we opened up a whole office. We've been getting employee after employee working there. Altug, how many people are working on site there with you right now? Is it 3, right?
At the moment, we are 3 in Turkey. Yes, 3 full-time employees. One is at the office. The other one is in Ankara, another city. Okay. But he's moving to Istanbul soon to come work with us in the Istanbul office. And our newest employee, who has been coming to the office with me in the last couple of weeks, he's our transfer from Galatsaray, actually. We got him without a transfer fee, which was good. And he has been really helpful with our partnership activations. He's basically our partnership activation manager for the Turkish region right now.
Okay. Well, listen, is there anything, considering I would say a significant amount of people that watch this are actually Turkish, is there anything you want to say to say the Chiliz fans?
Yes, of course. I mean, Turkey is growing exponentially. We have been overwhelmed with the demand and the interest that people have been sending us messages all the time. I'm getting hundreds of messages a day and trying to answer all of them. I'm just trying to tell them. I want to tell them to be patient with us because we are trying to grow. We want to do the best for them, and we are trying our best. Hopefully, it will all be in line with what their expectations are. But we just need a bit more time to be fully functional, fully executive, responding to their requests all the time at the deadlines that they want us to do. Just need some more time, but we're growing. It's the best we can do right now, I must say.
No, that's very fair. Very contrite of you. But I will say, obviously, guys, the reason that we opened up a Turkish office is because the user base is so big and demanding there that it deserves its own localized presence. So the long term for the office includes, localized marketing professionals, localized CS even, essentially making it an autonomous office that caters specifically to the needs of everyone who's buying, Gal, Trabzonspor, etc., all the other teams we hope to onboard in the near future in Turkey as well. So I think that's cool. Do you want to?
I mean,
no, sorry, go ahead. I don't want to cut you off.
We had this yesterday. We had a match between Başakşehir and Trabzonspor. I'm sure you guys followed it up on FIFA Pro esports game. And today, actually, within a few moments, they will start playing against each other. And hopefully, am I cut off?
No.
We
got you.
Okay, and hopefully the result will give the fans some excitement, because yesterday, I must say, the Trabzonspor guys, they were sad. We're hoping for a better result today for Trabzonspor, but we're also rooting for Başakşehir. It's a tough one. But there's a lot of things that I want to talk about. Do you want me to just keep on putting them out there, or how would you like to continue on this? I have a lot of things to share, a lot of news that might excite the Trabzonspor fans, Başakşehir fans, Galatasaray fans that we have right now. We are.
Let's keep going. I don't know. There we go, Richard. I was going to say.
I think we can elaborate a little on what Haltu just mentioned about the FIFA final, because today there's going to be, as he mentioned, the Super Cup final between Trabzonspor and Başakşehir. But yesterday we organized a FIFA event between the two esports clubs, and we streamed it live on YouTube. So it was a pretty cool activation, I think.
Actually, the fans were excited. I got a lot of private messages about it too. I mean, the first time I see on a FIFA game the little sub banner that said powered by CHC Power and Socios.com, which was really cool. Great execution, by the way, Serena. You guys did a great job.
Thank
you. In a short time frame. And I would like to also mention that as Socios Turkey, we donated 2 laptops to a village school in the east of Turkey, in a city called Bingöl. These guys, due to coronavirus, the education in Turkey has been halted face to face. So these guys in the villages on the east. Oh, sorry, we got the footage there.
Thanks for that, Richard. You're just 3 to 4 minutes and 2 topics too slow, but it's okay.
It's okay.
The viewers, no. This is all comedy for the viewers. Altic, sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. I just want to mention that Alex was really excited about the fact that we want to help the people, that the young kids that wants to grow to become maybe one of our Socios employees in 10 years, who knows, 10 years, 15 years. These guys will be getting educated with laptop donated by Socios. Very exciting, actually, and we want to do more. And we did it with a blockchain-based donation platform, which we can share later with the supporters of Socios and Chiliz. And it's all done through on-chain, and then you can see the teacher received his money, and then both the laptops, and then he's teaching the students. So this is also another news that I wanted to share. I think it's heartwarming. I just shared earlier in the marketing group. You guys might have seen, but you guys were in the show actually. We are part of Financial Innovation and Technology Association of Turkey right now. So we are there with some of the biggest banks in Turkey, and also some of the biggest partners. Actually, we have like Binance.com and Bitpanda. So they're part of it as well. I think it's a good way to localize our existence in the Turkish ecosystem. Mm-hmm. And regarding the fans of fan tokens and the fans of Chiliz token, there is a lot of interest from the investment companies. I must say that's something that might be interesting for the viewers here. They're constantly calling us and asking for meetings and trying to learn about what fan tokens are, what the utilities are, and how they can get an advantage of these fan tokens. We tell all these people, fan tokens are for the fans. They are to create an engagement create a bridge between the fans and the clubs. So I must ensure the fans to be careful about investing. Obviously, this we don't recommend it, but it's just for fan engagement and things like that. But again, there are a lot of interest regarding this as well. Just might be something to be interested about as well.
Very cool.
And last but not least, another news from the Turkish side. As you guys know, we have Paribu exchange that we have been listing our tokens on. And yesterday, we started with Paribu to do radio, TV, and digital advertisements of fan tokens. So on prime time of Turkish TV, on almost all channels, there will be Galatsaray, Trabzonspor, Paris Saint-Germain, and Juventus fan tokens advertisements. And also there will be on radio shows, fan token advertisements. So it's also exciting. We are touching the mainstream, I believe. This is one of the first projects to be actually part of an advertisement on primetime TV times. So yeah, these are the latest news from Turkey, guys.
That's really cool because it gives you a little taste of what's there for the future of socios as a whole. Obviously, Alex has said before many times, there's not much point doing the big marketing right now to push fan tokens because of, our product and our utilities and the features for fans isn't quite where we want it to be. So just seeing already, working with Paribu, having these advertisements on television, it's kind of a nice little taster of what's to come, hopefully in the not too distant future when we do the big marketing. So yeah, thank you for sharing that. That's very, very good news.
Yeah, that's very heartening too.
Yes,
I have a personal opinion though, given how quick the Turkish market is on the uptake of crypto as it relates to sports. Altug in many ways is kind of living a few years ahead of us. The environment that he gets to be in contact with, just obviously the rabid fan base, and also just like let's say. The across the board interest from clubs, and this like push to deeper ingrainment of fan token utility. He's living in 2024, and here we are in 2021.
Is there COVID there also in 2024?
I think it's almost gone now.
Okay, good.
It's still here.
It's almost 3 years. Also, okay.
I think it's pretty realistic, but
that's good.
Let's
to know.
not dampen the mood.
Well, listen, the one thing we can end on as well, because I know Richard was excited to show this video, is I believe Richard has a clip of the Turkish office. I think it's almost a receipt. Like, we're not lying. That's not Altug's very beautiful kitchen that he's sitting on. The office is real. So Richard, play that, and then we'll say our goodbyes. What is there?
Oh yeah.
Here's fun fact.
Here's the whole.
I helped Altug with the pictures, right?
Very cool.
That's right.
With the picture selection.
Thank you. But that way goes to the kitchen, actually, to the right.
I will say it's very modern. It's more modern than our office here in Malta.
This side, this will be the meeting room, big meeting room, and this room will be a small. These two rooms will be the small, co-working spaces. And my office is on the left. This one right here. I'm currently there with a desk actually. And on the right is Alex's office, and this is our chill area. So this will be Alex's office basically. I'm knocking on his door right.
Okay.
Well, he's not there. Why did you not?
There.
Oh no!
It's good to know that Alex took a quarter of the floor space for an office when he's going to be there a solid 20 days a year. What are you gonna do the other 90% of the time with that space when Alex is absent?
I'll knock on his door most of the times and to see he's not there, and just be sad. Maybe put a picture of him there.
If you need us to send you some like beanbag chairs and a PlayStation over, because I guarantee you turning that into a game room is a better use than assuming Alex.
Actually, I might turn it into a co-working space by the time, because I know Alex won't be here most of the time. But for the beginning, I think it's good to give him his space, because he will have a lot of meetings, because the big clubs and some of the interest from e-commerce platforms and things like that, they want to meet him. The investment firms, they want to meet him. So when he comes over, this will be the place that he can meet them and have his own private area to speak with these guys. And actually, it's a good, prestigious place as well. It's important to have a space, I think.
No, it's very nice.
Yeah,
it's definitely much nicer than Joe's corner in the office, or my corner in the office,
or my corner,
or Serena's corner in the office.
You've got a pretty nice corner.
Yeah,
but you don't have like people behind you walking past.
But it's a corner, Joe.
Yeah, well, you got to start in the corner to get to the.
I haven't been able to close a door on anyone in years. Anyways,
yes.
Altug, man, thank you so much for joining us. Is there any parting thoughts you want to imbue on our viewers?
Maybe you want to say something in Turkish.
Thank you guys. Sorry?
Maybe you want to say something in Turkish for the Turkish, if there are Turkish people listening.
Hepinizi seviyorum arkadaşlar. Kendinize iyi bakın. Chiliz Socios olarak biz elimizden geleni yapıyoruz. Sonuna kadar da yapmaya devam edeceğiz. I just told them we are doing our best, and we will do so until whenever,
Okay, very good. And I have one more question for you, Sir Altug. Have you been drinking lots of water today?
Yes, I have been actually. Only not lots, but half a liter.
Okay.
You're supposed to drink upwards of 6 liters a day.
6?
Yeah.
I thought it was upwards of 2.
If you're active, and I could only assume that Altug is an active guy.
Don't tell me active in the mind.
Don't tell me you lead a sedentary lifestyle and stay dehydrated.
He's a crypto trader. He's not active. Come on.
It's a recipe for disaster.
My brain is active, not the body.
Okay. Very fair. Altug, thank you so much, man. Thanks for joining.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you. See you. Bye. That was nice.
That was really nice.
I'm actually very excited to visit the new offices in Istanbul myself, to be honest.
Yeah, me too.
I've actually never been to Turkey. My wife has. She really enjoyed it. I think she spent a month in Istanbul once.
Whoa. Okay.
So that's what happened. That's what European people do.
Well, they
as an American who moved to Europe, no. But when you hear about like Europeans taking their vacation, like, oh yeah, no, I went somewhere for 2.5 months. What do you? I used to have like 5 days off a year. I was like, everyone in Europe likes to have like, oh, August. That's not even a month. We don't do business in August. Like,
it's kind of true,
like that's okay.
At least in the southern part of Europe.
Yeah.
In the north, nothing matters.
Unluckily for us, the crypto market never sleeps.
Yes.
Anyways, that's it for Turkey. Let's keep moving, or else we're going to stretch the show out a little too long. FTO partners that we had in December.
Yep.
It's time for listing.
It is time for listing.
2 of them confirmed.
2 of them were listed actually today. That was Young Boys and Navi, with the other dates of the other tokens to be announced.
Well, actually, interesting, because I was because I'm not very professional when we do TV, apparently. I was texting with Alex because I had nothing to do. You were kind of yammering on about something. I wasn't listening. I don't know. So crypto something. Yammering in. That's good. Yep. People are gonna hear you use that voice. Like, wow,
I was just making fun of your voice crack.
Joe, very mature. Anyways, the remaining 4 teams, we will be listing them next week. I can't give you a day, but it'll happen next week.
Very good. Very, very good. I guess we can just touch a little bit about how it kind of performed very briefly. Navi listed today at 12 CET. In the first, 5 minutes, we saw like way over $100,000 in trading volume for Navi, which was I was quite surprised. Lots of demand there. Price did increase by 131%. With YBO, price increased by 33%, and volume now a total of 253. But we don't really talk too much about the kind of price dynamics of fan tokens. It's just kind of cool to touch on this thing because of you guys are the ones that like that. Actually, yes, on the screen, if you go down and you look on the left, you can click on Navi on the left side, or YBO, Yeah, you can just see here, you get the initial candle, which is always going to be very high, usually.
If that part of the graph could make a sound, it would make this sound. Pew!
Yeah, more like... Bing! Okay, yeah, and there's young boys, but let's not talk too much really about the performance of the charts because of you guys can do that yourselves. You guys can check out Fan Market Cap or Chiliz Exchange and check out the prices.
Maybe we should make that website. We do normal cryptographs, but it's audio enhanced. So there's actually a specific meme sound for every candle movement.
Do you think like that could maybe help the visually impaired?
Yeah, I think it would be really degenerate. Imagine if you're blind but you're a big crypto trader and you're just watching like Bitcoin the last 24 hours. And you're just sitting there next to a speaker, and you just hear like womp womp,
yes.
Like oh no, womp womp womp. That means 10% down. That's terrible.
Yes. Okay.
Anyways, jokes aside.
Yep.
Let's keep moving on our new news, as I like to call this segment. Actually, end of December USDT airdrop.
Yes, I can just talk about that a little bit.
Let's hear about it.
In December, on the 31st, I don't know why Alex is tweeting on the 31st of December, but Alex is Alex. He tweeted that we're going to be doing an airdrop. There is kind of two airdrops. One is for Turkish Chiliz Exchange users, and one is for every Chiliz Exchange user. So everyone who is KYC level 2 verified will be receiving a airdrop if they traded $100 or more on fan token pairs during the month of December. I've looked at the data. The numbers are pretty good, and I mean, hopefully by the time you're watching this, it's already been distributed, but I can't promise. It should be distributed. I mean, it will be before the end of the week because we did promise it will be distributed before the end of the month. So there is that to look forward to. The numbers are good. There are lots of Turkish traders trading good volumes of fan tokens on the Chiliz Exchange. This is a nice little airdrop to say thank you for your patience to the Turkish community, and thank you for the support as always.
Yeah. Also, and I'll just run through this a little bit quicker too, because this is more just information. We started a big, I think I called it the Token Hunt Explosion. I didn't clear that name with anyone. I thought it was a good name.
Pretty accurate, if you ask me.
Where we gave out our original partners, are the partners we launched way back a year ago. Their fan tokens specifically in our via points of interest and Token Hunt. we offered exactly 35,000 fan tokens, and as of right now, I actually just checked, over 85% of those fan tokens total across all the teams that have been hunted. There's been a lot of Chiliz hunted as well, and the most common redemption, obviously by far, SSU. The fan tokens when you hunt are obviously a bit of a grand prize.
Yeah.
So there's a very low frequency that you'll catch them.
I actually was hunting almost like every day in the beginning, and I think I hunted over 100 SSU and no fan token.
That's really bad luck.
And then you see people on the community and on Twitter being like, they see like maybe someone affiliated with us who got the token. They say it's like rigged or something. It's like, well, if it's rigged, then where's my fan token, Max?
Yeah.
Is this a bad time to say that I actually got a fan token?
Yes.
You should be able to get it, because I will say, if you break down the numbers, there is a 1% chance per point of interest when you go to it that you get a fan token, and the rest of the chances, obviously, vast majority SSU and some Chiliz, because it's a bit of a tiered prize, grand prize, jackpot type structure.
You know what?
But there's 6 chances, and each point of interest, you can go to it every 24 hours. So technically, you have around a 6% chance per day.
Actually, I believe it's 7, no?
I believe it's 6. Could be 7.
Then maybe let's try my luck right now, live on air, and see. Okay, SSU number 1. Okay.
Okay,
great.
Let's see, Joe.
And we've got
Joe, we're doing a show. Nobody wants to see you play with your phone.
SSU again.
No, it's fine. We don't
okay.
need to do it.
SSU
You
again.
can show it to the camera.
SSU again. I'll do one more just for luck.
Yeah. Joe, there's an over 90% chance that you'll collect an SSU.
Okay, I'm about to do the last one. I'm gonna grab it, and it's
it's a Chiliz.
Ah,
Look at
nice.
that. Also known as free money. That's awesome. And by the way, it could be, how many Chiliz did you get? One. Oh, the lowest amount. Because you could get up to 15 Chiliz.
Well, I guess I'm not very lucky.
No. But either way, that's cool. And to be honest, I actually would love, if you guys are watching, if you have any feedback on the hunts, if you want any other kind of hunt structures you have ideas for, if you want new teams that you want to see us do some stuff with there, I'm all for it, because this big token hunt explosion is ending soon.
Yeah.
And once it ends, the sky's the limit. I'm going to be sitting actually thinking with Joe.
Yeah.
I mean, I say I'm going to ask Joe. I'm not going to ask him. But figuring out a new format for another hunt that'll last 1 or 2 months, so people, it's kind of a free to play fun fest there.
And I'm still looking forward to. I'm still hopeful for like people getting out of the house and going back to like the real world events, because that was kind of what we were like excited for.
Well, it's tough because originally the hunt, every point of interest was going to be at least 50 meters away from where you were, no matter where you opened up the app, and the whole point was to get people walking. But obviously, we had to actually rechange on a technical level everything, and instead make every poi available, even if you're sitting on your couch at home, because everyone was under quarantine.
Yes. And it's going to stay that way for the foreseeable future. And
also, like, we've been getting good reviews on it. People are lazy, and
it's true.
It turns out they love just sitting on their couch and collecting tokens way more than walking and doing it.
And it's like a deterrent. Like, people don't have to spoof their GPS because they don't have to go anywhere.
No.
Yeah. So
no. It's true. It's very true. Okay. One last thing I want to mention. I'll be very vague with this. It's almost as a tease, because it's kind of an announcement.
Ooh, I like teases.
We've been in talks with a few different partners, a few existing partners, who on their side, not on our side, it's not us convincing them, they've asked us if we would be open to furnishing player bonuses, like a man of the match, man of the month, something, a bonus along those lines, which would be paid out directly to the player from the team using fan tokens, which I think is really cool.
You said you're going to give a little bit of a tease. Wow. I mean, that's a big tease, isn't it?
Yeah, but the big tease would be like if I named names or gave timelines.
Yep.
But I just think it's a really, really cool kind of, it's almost a sea change of motivation that we see from these clubs, because it wasn't necessarily our idea. Maybe we inspired them, because we do have a lot of brainstorming meetings with our partners. But to have these clubs come and say, like, hey, if we want to do more utility, like maybe what if we did like, because it initially started out as like a voting based discussion, like, well, what if people could choose, you vote on man of the match or goal of the match or something, just some metric that people could do live when they watch a game, like a big game.
Yeah.
That would really get more engagement. And then they kind of just made that natural leap without us even helping. And they're like, well, wait a minute. What if we tied that vote where the winner, it wasn't just like bragging rights, essentially, because the fans are, chose that player, but we also, we set up a wallet for them on the app, and we airdrop fan tokens directly to the player. And then what if from there, players kind of include fans on social media, on their activities with fan tokens, et cetera, and what they're voting on. I just think it opens up a lot of doors that I think are really interesting.
Are we gonna? Obviously, I guess we're gonna make the wallet addresses of the players public as well.
Again, this is a tease, so I'm not going to give you any specific information. I'm just saying this kind of stuff is in the works.
Okay. Well, I mean, player involvement sounds pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I think that's really interesting. And I think, even though I know you guys maybe are frustrated because I talk about this stuff, but I can't name names and I can't give timelines. I just hope at least you can appreciate that.
Yes.
I would lose my job if I gave any more information than that, and B, I just want you guys to know that like this kind of stuff may be around the corner, and we are personally very excited and interested.
Yes, not exactly related to the bonuses and what you just mentioned, but we did have a kind of a tease of player involvement this week with the Korean zombie from UFC. He made a video talking about Chiliz and Socios, which was
he did. Very cool. He did. He spoke. The video is only available in Korean, sadly.
Yes.
I think Richard and the video guys that help make the show a reality are actually going to take that video and just put subtitles for it, so you guys can use it on your other channels. Just,
is there? We've got it on the screen here right now as well.
Oh, okay. Yeah, nice. There we go. That's actually a written piece about the video,
which was released today.
Yeah. Very cool. But it's cool to see that kind of stuff starting to happen.
Yeah.
And I think that about wraps it up for, I don't know what...
the new news?
Yeah.
The new news.
Beto, the graphic designer, decided to call it upcoming news. I specifically wrote in my brief that this segment was to be called New News. But the segment's over, and we can move on to AMA and questions, which is Serena's time to shine a bit. She's the official host of the Chiliz Show AMA segment.
I actually feel the pressure.
We should call it Ask Serena.
Should we? Are we asking me?
We can start a hashtag around it and get like some hype about asking Serena questions. But actually, you're the one asking us.
So it would be asked through Serena.
Yes, something like that. Very good. You're very quick on your...
Or I guess it's Serena asks.
Yeah.
Ooh, Serena asks.
Okay, well,
so let's pull up
Serena
some questions.
asks. Let's get some questions.
Let's pull up some questions, guys. Let's see. Okay, so Piotr Crypto, at Piotr Crypto asks, do you have some plans about the Barca token? Some new activity?
Well, I will say yes. I don't know how I can answer that on a technical or crypto level. I'm not at liberty to say. But Piotr, yeah, we're actively working with the club right now to create a roadmap of numerous new polls and new engagements that we're going to do. I don't know if Joe has anything to add to that.
I would just like to add a little thing. We get this a lot now, obviously, since fan tokens have become a lot more available through different websites and markets, and they're becoming more popular as a digital asset. We have people who don't necessarily understand fully what we do, and they buy it, and then they come to our Telegram and they're like, any news about this fan token? It's like, well, fan tokens aren't traditional cryptocurrencies. They work very different. So when you're asking us any update, it's like, well, yes, there's lots happening behind the scenes in terms of, the future of the fan token. But in terms of these short-term news kind of hypes that you get from traditional cryptos, it's not going to follow the same pattern. It's a completely new paradigm.
Well, the best advice I can give to Piotr. By the way, Piotr, thank you. You have the normal spelling in your nickname, but I could see your actual tag has phonetically spelled Piotr, which I think is nice. The best advice I can give is if you're one of these people that are just your entry point into fan tokens is Binance or Paribu or Upbit in Korea, and you're buying first because of, let's say, the brand association, and because you're really excited that, oh wow, look, Juventus and crypto are together, this is my way to touch the brand in the crypto space. Make a Socios.com app account, download the app. Move, I don't care how many fan tokens you've bought. Move 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fan tokens into the app, and see what it's all about. Go to the profile. Go see what polls we've done in the past. Read the news, which, by the way, on our app we have news for all of our partners, but it's all news specifically relating to our partner on Socios.com.
Yep.
It's not like we're talking about the score of last night's game or anything. It's all relevant stuff for new utilities, new rewards we're giving out, new competitions, maybe quizzes, etc.
Yep.
And that's the best way to learn. If you're interested about the utility of this fan token, which is what we base the fan tokens off of, you have to plug them into the ecosystem. You have to utilize it and plug it into its native ecosystem, which is the Socios.com app. That's where the token flourishes. And you won't need to ask us what's the new news because the app tells you there's push notifications. And if you own a Barca fan token and you move it and create an account, and there's Barca events coming up, you'll get a ping on your phone, and you can go vote or do whatever.
And we'll also tell you when there's news. So
yes, that's another good point. Instead of coming to us in Telegram and saying, when news, it's actually very simple. Just follow the news Telegram channel, which is just at Chiliz News, and you get all of the news without having to ask us when news. Although yes, we understand that you guys are very excited about what we do. Sometimes after working all day on some tasks, just to open Telegram and see when this, when that, it does get just a little bit frustrating. But I guess that's kind of part and parcel with crypto. Yeah, and that's basically the answer.
All right,
thank you for the question,
Piotr. Thank you so much.
Next question, please. Tell us something about KYC and limits on Socios.com. I think this is pretty easy.
Yeah.
Who wants to take it?
Well, I'm going to read the second bit as well. In near future, a lot of people won't be able to do anything because of limits. I'm confused about that.
I think he's talking about level 4 limits, because we've been getting a lot of queries about that actually, and I can confirm that currently we're not processing any requests for users who are not close to the threshold. So that's why it might be a little bit frustrating for some people. But I mean,
what we've seen, unfortunately, is people kind of apply for level 4 when they don't need level 4, which kind of, once again, acts like a denial of service on our compliance team, because they have to go and look through everyone's account. It kind of wastes a bit of their time. I can't say much, but I can tell you we are currently looking at how the level 4 process works. So I hope soon there will be a change, but I can't tease or tell anything about it.
Yeah, very fair. The only thing I'll note is that, when Osak here says in the near future, a lot of people won't be able to do anything because of limits. I don't understand that, because when you talk about our KYC, 3 and 4 limits, we're talking about 4, 5+ figure euro sums worth of equity in terms of the crypto you put in. Which doesn't touch the vast majority of our users who are retail
I'm guessing
fans.
This guy's a crypto guy.
And B it's on par with any other, let's say, product of this form. Any product that involves transactions has these same limits. It's not like these are arbitrary limits. And we do, like Joe said, if you're close to thresholds, we work with you directly. Part of that is because when you get up to KYC level 4 type clearances, it's very work intensive.
Yes.
We have to be it's for A, the safety of the user, and B, the safety of us, to really make sure everyone's ducks are in a row and we have everything checked and settled. And like you said, we did run into an issue where people, they would come in and just do KYC level 4 for no reason. They might put $50 worth of Chiliz in, but they'll say, screw it, I'll do KYC level 4. And it does create a bit of a bottleneck for us. So
it's true.
We've decided to take more of an approach that says, listen, if you're reaching KYC level 3, do KYC level 3. If you really think you're going to reach the threshold for KYC level 4, this vast minority of users at the very, very top end of their, let's say, amount of that they've put into the app, then of course we'll work together and we'll give you this concierge type service to make sure everything's good. But otherwise, it's not the best for our team.
And I guess the final note there is also that we do all KYC in-house, which I'd say across crypto, it's probably not too common. I think lots of people use services to provide, AML and KYC. Yeah. But I do think it's better to have it all in-house. And it's just a matter of fact from scaling from here to have the large volumes that we...
Yeah, that's very true. I mean, listen, all the stuff that we said in mind, we do recognize that we have a good problem in that we're taking off in terms of users, and that requires a lot of very hard scaling from our KYC, AML teams, from our CS teams, and onwards, even our partnerships and people like you and Serena, whose jobs deal with the community directly. As the community gets larger, we need to add people and
we are.
Yeah, yes, we are adding, but it's, especially in the last 3 months, the increase in our community size and engagement and activity on the app it's
been crazy.
Has far outpaced our ability to scale, and that's not a knock against us. I don't think anyone could scale effectively as fast as our community decided to scale up. So thank you for the question, Osak. I hope that was at least somewhat helpful.
Let's go to the next one, please. I'm guessing this user, Frit Ketchup 1, wants to know if there's gonna be another use for Chiliz other than buying fan tokens.
Yeah,
Joe, you want to take it?
I mean, I'll give you a really short answer. Yes. That's the shortest answer possible. I think for a longer answer, Joe's kind of looking at me like he has some things he wants to say.
Well, I mean, so currently, yes, Chiliz is mainly just used to purchase fan tokens and partake in locker rooms. But firstly, I would argue that utility is more than most cryptocurrencies that don't really have much utility. Second of all, for example, the locker rooms, it's staking. So I'd argue that's the user value proposition there. It's already quite high. But obviously, we launched the mobile app just over 1 year ago. We are still kind of a new company in the crypto space. We haven't been around for that long. We started the cryptocurrency in 2018, didn't get listed to 2019. So really what you have to do when it comes to utility of Chiliz, utility of fan tokens, utility of our app, you kind of just have to sit back and wait and watch what we have in store.
No, that's a good answer. And if I were to provide, let's say, I don't know, I think I say this in business meetings, a 30,000-foot view for an answer to this question, is that Chiliz is a company. We're a fintech services provider for sports and entertainment that utilizes crypto. You can think of it, if you structure the companies out, is that Chiliz is this base. We have the Chiliz chain and all the technical solutions that come with it, and that obviously utilize the Chiliz token as its unique transactional asset to do so. Socios is the first native utility that we've built on top of the Chiliz chain as a B2C and P2P layer. Socios isn't the only thing either we or people who we may come to an agreement with who will build things on top of the Chiliz chain. And anything that we build on top of the Chiliz chain, whether it's socios.com, whether it's a completely different, maybe it's a music-only focused product that someone comes and pitches to us and we decide, okay, let's work on this together. The solutions that worked to build socios.com are also going to work to build this music platform, for example. That will get built, and that will utilize Chiliz in on a fundamental level, many of the same ways that socios.com uses Chiliz, and that will represent a second use. Yes. And then if someone else comes and they have a third platform, fourth platform, fifth product, etc., it scales that way.
Yes, the sky is the limit with our ecosystem in the future, hopefully.
So very, very much like Joe said, geez, guys, give us some time. It's been, almost 2 years, around 2 years. We built Chiliz as a fintech provider and Socios on top of it, and created Socios. It's not in a beta version. It's now a fully live product. We have over 20 partners. We have over 500,000 registered accounts. It's working. And if you wait, I hope another 1, 2, 3 years, there will be other products as well. Whether we run them directly or whether there are people that are working with the Chiliz chain, that's yet to be seen. But hold your horses.
Yep.
Jeez.
Great.
Thank you for your question. Let's see another one. At Sint-Truidense, I guess you say, wants to know any plan for the upcoming FIFA World Cup scheduled next year. Something like
Sex
sponsorship.
Pistols reference, just saying.
Sid-Vicious.
Yeah, Sid-Vicious.
Yeah. Something like sponsorships to market socios and Chiliz around the globe. Very interesting question. Thank you for sending it in.
Any plan for upcoming FIFA World Cup scheduled next year? Something like sponsorship to market socios and Chiliz around the globe. We are always actively looking for those we don't want to do sponsorships, but partnerships, even if they're marketing partnerships. But I can't speak to any specific deals we're working on, obviously, because they have not come to fruition. There's no ink drying on paper. So, Lightning Bear, the best answer we can give you, and I know
or Sid-Vicious.
Yeah, I know this is a very oft-repeated answer here on the show, but we're working our best and stay tuned. But your interest is our interest as well, especially with questions like this.
Yeah, definitely, and it will be definitely very interesting. So thank you for your question. Let's see. Rosemary Almeida wants to know how is the process for picking a team to partner with socios?
Oh, it's multi-leveled, and I feel like we've talked about this before.
People are very interested in it.
Yeah,
apparently.
But there's a number of big factors. One big factor is whether if a team comes to us and they're interested, they believe internally in the product and in fan tokens and in fan engagement through voting and the transactional aspect of that, then we're obviously more primed to work with them.
Of course.
The teams that we aren't necessarily interested in working with are those that see us as just another conventional sponsor. where they hear, oh, socios.com, they make revenue for teams. Let's make a fan token. Let's let people vote on some, bullshit marketing decisions with no engagement. And essentially they're kind of primed to treat it cynically. In our experience, that's not the best way to do things. And outside of that, obviously, a lot of the teams that we have looked to in the past and that we're going to be looking to in the future all come down to, do they fit with key markets where we're very interested in, places like Turkey, for example, where we know we have a big user base, or places around the world like in India where we know we actively want to move socios.com as a brand into that region. That helps us in the choosing process. And then after we identify the correct regions and the correct viability of teams themselves, meaning are they actually interested on a genuine level to innovate with us and to work as partners and not as a sponsor and team type relationship, then obviously a lot of fan reach and branding considerations get taken into account, because obviously the more established the team is, the more healthy its fan ecosystem, the larger its reach is all helpful factors for us as well.
That's very interesting. Actually, we've had some questions in the past about why are you partnering with small teams rather than like super huge big teams.
Well, we have both.
Exactly.
Because the thing about small teams, and the reason we partner with some small teams, that small teams, what they may lack in fan reach versus these big global behemoths that we have on our platform, they make up for with flexibility and with the motivation to put out polls where there's no way in a million years that one of our global level partners would be able to move quick enough to do polls like that. I mean, I know we talk about Apollon a lot, but Apollon is the perfect example of that. Apollon,
the kings of fan engagement, I would say.
Yeah, Apollon has let their fans vote on kit designs, on their starting lineup configurations, etc. Those are really awesome votes that I think only they can do, because they have to go only to 2-3 people. They get it confirmed, and they say, yeah, we're doing it. And a bigger team obviously means that it's a bigger organization and moves much slower, like any company.
Of course.
So that's why.
Plus, I would say that also like clubs with smaller fan bases, like their fans also deserve to have a say rather than just huge clubs.
Yeah,
which I think is
for sure.
But
important. I mean, it's a complex question, because some of it does also have to do with our elasticity as a company and our bandwidth for our teams to scale, and if it makes more sense sometimes to bring on a bigger team because they're interested in partnering with us in a real way, and that also means that we'll create enough revenue. Which, by the way, as a company, all the revenue we take, we just invest it back into the company, higher, to make sure that we can support teams as they come on. And if putting a big team on our platform means that we can, hire 10 new people, 5 new people, etc., and help grow and help create more space and bandwidth to then put more smaller teams on, that makes sense as a strategy more so than just putting in smaller teams because the votes are cool exclusively, for example. I hope that makes sense. It's a balancing act, because you want to have commercial viability enough to grow to a point where you can then cater to everyone, where then the partnership process becomes template in a way where teams come to us, they apply. If they meet all of our criteria, doesn't matter if they have 1,000 fans or 100 million fans, they're on the platform. It's that simple.
Nice. Yeah. That was actually a great question and a great answer.
Fantastic answer. Well
okay, Serena. Okay.
I think we have a couple more questions, if the guys can confirm. Do we have any questions left? Yes.
Oh no, not Pele. Not Pele, Robert.
Okay, so Joe is going to take this, I guess.
I mean, I actually, to be honest, so he asked how many Arsenal fans are at the Chiliz HQ. I know one.
I know one as well, so I mean, unless there's any like closet Arsenal fans, I would say one.
I mean, I'm such a casual football fan, then I'll just go ahead and say I'm an Arsenal fan.
Yeah.
Right,
as an American, I will say Arsenal is one of the few teams where I heard about it because it would always be in movies. Like whenever in a movie in the 2000s and late 90s that needed like some like meathead European character, it would always be an Arsenal fan or a Liverpool fan.
Surely must have been West Ham as well in there.
No one cares about West Ham, Joe. No one cares.
Can I just say, I just want to say to you, Pele, where are you in the league? And I'm going to leave it at that. He's a friend of mine. He's in the Chiliz Alliance, so I can give him a bit of banter.
Okay, we'll leave it at that. And I think we're coming up to our last question now.
We have a last question. Let's see. From Medex Crypto.
Another one of my good friends.
Are you in talks with more esports teams? The current ones are getting a lot of attention, and I was wondering if we can expect more. And then he's suggesting Team Liquid.
With a smiley face.
With a smiley face.
I mean, Joe, I can take this question, and then you can banter with your buddy, which, by the way, is not very professional. But apparently, if you want exposure on this show, pretend you're Joe's fan, and he'll get.
But we banter on the show. How is that? Is this show professional?
It was until you cut me off there, and I think we both talked about how when you do dialogue-based shows, you never cut anyone off because it creates a very hard listening experience for the viewer. So if you guys are starting a podcast, keep that in mind because Joe obviously doesn't. To answer your question, Maddox, yes, we are. We're actually in talks with multiple esports teams in multiple regions. We're in talks with esports teams across Asia, North America, and Europe. Obviously, I can't tell you the names of who they are, but I'm really hoping that within the next 2 or 3 episodes of the show, if we get to that 2,000 and a half viewer mark, that we'll be able to tell you exactly who those teams are because there's some pretty exciting discussions going on right now.
Should we set a deadline for that?
No.
No? Okay.
No.
So if by next year, for example, we get...
No. The deadline is I really hope this show gets 2,500 views.
By when?
What do you mean by when?
By whenever.
No,
So
by
like in 2-3
by
years.
the time episode 3 comes because we already committed to episode 3.
Okay.
After that, it's like, cat's out of the bag.
All right.
If we don't feel like it, we won't do another show. You guys have to help us here. We're doing this in addition to our jobs. This isn't part of our jobs.
Actually, speaking about helping us, why don't we ask them to come up with a name for this segment? To launch an official hashtag.
Oh yeah. Give us
this Q&A. Why don't you suggest it in the comments of this video?
Yes.
Yep.
Yes.
And we might launch an SSU poll.
And we could do that.
Why not?
Yeah, I don't really have much else to ask to add to that except for hi, Maddie.
Okay.
Was that the banter that you promised us?
Very
I
professional?
speak to him like all day, every day, so there's no point.
Well, for the sake of moving things along, goodbye AMA. Hello, the last section of the show, also known as
The future.
The future is the future. We'll keep it short this time because I think we've actually had a very long content-filled show. So, the future.
The future.
Do you want to start this off? We have, looks like about 6 different topics.
Yep.
Let's keep them brief. Socios.com gamification update.
I don't know. We have some graphics for this or not?
I don't believe Richard does.
Okay. Well, I mean, I think we touched on it in the last show.
Yeah, I'll go quickly because we did talk about including Gleam competitions, including gamification layers, which reward you for doing any action within the app.
Yep.
As well as hopefully the rollout of a loyalty store, an in-app loyalty store. Now we'll say our phase 1 of gamification, we are hoping will come within the next, let's say, maximum 3 months. We're working on it right now. And after that, phase 2, we'll see. I'm hoping, let's say, by early Q3, mid Q3, we'll have an in-app store where you'll be able to get the goods that you so crave.
That's very vague.
Yeah.
It's also very exciting.
Yeah, it also has to be vague. And it'll be a lot less vague coming up once we get more and more development hurdles cleared and we can kind of share more safely. So with that, we'll go to topic 2.
Actually, can I just comment on one more thing since we were speaking about the product? Because we just released the version 2.5 of the app, which we do have a graphic for, by the way, Richard. So you can pull it up. And we just released this. We just released it on the App Store and Google Play, so you can update your app, and it features the Polish languages now available.
Shema.
So we have an actually very large Polish community. I think they're going to be happy about it.
Very large. They were very happy. Very happy.
Now we have 10 languages. The app is available in 10 languages.
Oh wow, very cool.
So that's a cool milestone, I think.
I say that like I didn't know it. trying to be a sounding.
To be honest, I didn't know how many.
I didn't know.
I know. I'm a bit of a language geek, so I mean, that was my moment to shine, I guess.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
Shall we talk about the BTC Moon?
Yeah. Here we go. I will note, Joe. feeling pretty good about this one because in my notes, these notes, by the way, we were supposed to shoot this show about 5 days ago.
Yes.
We had to stop it because Joe fell ill. But I wrote BTC Moon ? Are institutions still buying in 2021 ? And then last, 30K new floor ? And I will point out that as of taping right now, in the middle of this show, BTC fell slightly, ever so below 30K, like 29.8K USD. And since then, has actually bounced right back up to almost 31K, which feels floory to me. Considering it's been losing day over day value and somehow just made a little stop at 30K, feels like it's a floor for now. Mm-hmm. That's my personal opinion. Obviously, goes without saying, none of this is investment advice. Yes. Me and Joe just really want to talk about Bitcoin.
I mean, maybe we're seeing what we saw already. It did go when we had the previous all-time high. It went down to like 37K, and then it went down to 29K. This could be the same floor. If we bounce from here, it could be good news. And to answer the question, are institutions still buying? Yes, they took a holiday break. Actually, they stopped adding Bitcoin to their balance sheets and stopped buying Bitcoin. But straight after the Christmas holidays, they resumed buying. I should for next show have some numbers and we can do some numbers around it. But they're buying in I'd say good sized numbers. I think they had a new almost record in the past week or so. So it could be possible that 29K is the new floor. It could be possible. But we are seeing panic across the market in terms of, if you look at Twitter, everyone is turning bearish. On Telegram, all my friends are turning bearish. I've told everyone I'm a permabull now, which means I don't get bearish anymore because of when institutional money is here. I feel like this time is different. So I'm banking that this time is different.
All right, that's Joe's opinion.
Yes, not investment advice.
Okay.
Ever.
I hate having to say it over and over again. Listen, at our core, we're pretty crypto nerdy as well. Yes. So this seems like the right forum to just let the nerdiness leak out. Yep. Speaking of crypto nerdiness, you wrote here, Joe, progress on Ethereum EIP 1559.
Yes. So Ethereum EIP 1559 is like an improvement suggested to Ethereum, which is going to potentially make Ethereum deflationary in the future because of some trading fees will be burnt. It seems like it's almost ready. There was some Vitalik tweets and some other tweets from the Ethereum community that the EIP 1559 is ready, but they are not so sure if they want to ship it before the Ethereum Berlin update, which I believe is coming in the next few months. So it still could be some time before we see EIP 1559.
Okay. Well, we have one here. It says, don't do meth, -10K loss. I forget what that was in reference to.
Yeah, I mean, okay, so obviously we planned this show just over a week ago. I was just coming off of a $10,000 loss on futures and just wanted to tell you, don't trade on futures unless you really know what you're doing because you could lose everything.
Yeah. If I'm not mistaken, a lot of people do.
Yes. A lot of people lose money.
Next up, second to last one we have. Sorry we're running so quick about these, but we know you have stuff to do today or tonight. XRP at 2 Brutus with SEC. Now, I have my own thoughts on this. Mm-hmm. I think there's two opposing narratives with XRP's, at this point, we'll call it journey with the Securities and Exchange Commission of the United States. Mm-hmm. Some people think, and I believe wrongly, that after years of lobbying the SEC to be regulated correctly and being very transparent, XRP, Ripple, and all of their friends were stabbed in the back and sued. That's one narrative. I believe that XRP, Ripple, has personally spent years flouting SEC regulations for what is very clearly something that qualifies as a security, and it should come as no surprise that finally they got the hammer on them. And that in many ways they did sell XRP without any clear information on how it was not going to be considered a security and why they were selling it live already without ever registering it as such with the SEC. So, Joe, I don't know which side of, let's say, that fence you fall on.
I haven't been following the SEC case too closely, but I can say, first of all, I've just never been a fan of XRP, and I think that the XRP Twitter, it's a bit crazy. Just to talk on some numbers, we've seen XRP drop very rapidly from 60 cents down to almost a bottom of 25 cents here. Which is, it's not looking too hot for XRP, and I don't hold any, and I don't plan on holding any.
No, fair. Again, it's not investment advice. I'm personally, regardless of my thoughts on it, I'm obviously going to await the rulings of that suit. It could very well be that I'm wrong. It's just one of those kind of personal thoughts that I have from following the story.
Yeah.
So I guess we don't. I don't think we should make any future predictions on what's going to happen with the end of this saga. But it'll go, one of those two ways, which is 100% of possible outcomes. And finally, we come to our last segment of the future. Dumb end of year 2021 BTC prediction. Ask Serena.
Come on, Serena.
So in this section, we're just going to quickly, let's do this over a course of just 30 seconds. We're going to go around the table and everyone say, guys, Bitcoin, 10,000, 50,000, or 250,000 on December 2021. Joe, you start.
50,000.
Joe, 50,000.
That's a tough one actually. I'm gonna say 250,000 because you have to dream big. Otherwise, what's the point of life, really? So.
Oh, jeez.
Okay, I'm loving that energy. I'm going to go with Joe, and I'm also going to say 50,000. Mostly just because I followed Bitcoin enough to have seen, ever since 2016, I've seen people saying that next year Bitcoin would be 100,000, 500,000, $250,000, $1 million, 10 million, blah, 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 blah. Maybe one of those prediction years will be correct, but I don't know.
Just say it every year.
Yeah, but I'm gonna sit this year out, and I hope Serena's right, but I'm gonna stick with 50,000.
Or what you could do is you could tweet a bearish prediction and a bullish one, and then when it comes to the end of the year, delete the wrong one. So just delete the bearish one.
Do a lot of people in crypto do that?
Probably.
That's really smart.
Yeah.
I want to start doing that a lot with my.
Because then you can quote it in 1 year, like, "See, guys, I told you."
Follow me here for more advice. Okay, great. Yeah. Listen, I think we covered just about everything. Guys, it's up to you now. Anything you heard on the show, whether you hate the show, whether you hate me personally, you just don't like my face, let us know in the comments things you want us to cover, things we haven't covered, anything about the app or Chiliz as a whole. Just let us know. Either right here below the video, or just write Joe on Telegram or Twitter or wherever.
Yes, and don't forget to subscribe on YouTube and drink lots of water, which is what I'm going to do right now. Yeah, and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all the good stuff that cliche YouTubers normally do. Even though we're not YouTubers, this is a news show. Damn it! All right, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you again here soon. Thank you.
Thank you.